once again, and welcome to the sports map. Part of me is looking in on this, so he's going to try to construct this map on ArcGIS, because the big thing he's hearing is about the ACE train expansion. So seeing on this map here, right? So this is the current section right here, Stockton, but there's a potential plan to connect it down to Merced, Madera. So the big question is, so currently the only one that exists, right, is the Amtrak San Joaquin's, right? So currently that takes about 5 hours to get over the top. If you look at this map here. So I'm going to place a layer in on this, and I will be discussing the overall part. So as I'm going to get this very quickly. And I don't want the California ones. The big thing right now is to put them in on the California ones. You don't want, nope, you want the ones, here we go. This is the one would like. Not in the best space. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Anyways, I felt this is the better spot for it in my book, because I feel that so according to a few of the videos, it's going to take, you have to go up to Stockton, and you have to go across to Antioch, which takes 5.5 hours, right? Because you have to go up around. But if you could cut down now, Eastern. Right? So you see? Got this set in here, right? It goes through Tracy, right? Now the current thing is these two, despite both meeting in the city of Stockton, they don't, the distance is like really too far to walk. So you'd have to take like a bus, or you'd have to take like an Uber to cut across. But so now the mention of the ACE extension is to go down to Merced, where as it currently exists. So if they're going to meet up there, you might be able to save time, because you wouldn't have to go as far up as Antioch, Martinez, and come around. You'd only have to go as far as like Livermore. Like the amount of extra time you kind of would save, because the map is saying here that it's like just south of Star, so Lothrop, and then you have to come down. So you have to come down, but you get a quicker way through the valley in the process. Now, the other big question is that there's the high-speed rail, which I can see if I can find a layer on this. I'm going to save this because, you know, that's important. Okay. I'm going to put this one on too. This one can't work. Yeah, see? So here I have the line here now, right? So I have the extra thing. So if you look at the scale, let's hang on. Let's take let's take these guys off. So currently for the minute, kind of the two options, except with like it's not very convenient, is that you'd have to go around. And most days you have to go around the long way, and to get to the city or get to the Silicon Valley, which is where I think a lot of the southern Central Valley people come from, because there's kind of that stretch from Bakersfield up, probably not Bakersfield, but in that kind of vicinity. So there's only like a few routes you can drive through, which is here on the 152, here on the 580 or 205, or like Highway 4. They're kind of the three main ones. There's the 130, but that would take like forever. But so transit routes, the only option is going as far up to Stockton, Antioch, or then going up to Stockton and then down. But that hour of service is very inconvenient. It's only like 5 in the morning. So there's no way you'd catch it unless you left at like 2. But if they're going to bridge this gap now, according to this proposed target, right? Depending on if they extend service, because now the route is going to be like a fork, you might be able to, because they've been saying it could bridge the Sacramento bridge, so they might be adding more locomotives to accommodate the new routes, because they do one a day to Sacramento, so they do the same deal with this. They might have to do a few extra, because this will be like a fork. The Sacramento thing is just a one-off. It's like Gilroy here, like this section, they have a few extras that go farther. This is just the same deal. So they do one a day, so they just can add that. But in this case, it'll be a completely different direction. So the route's going to spur. So the question is, since the aim target is just Merced, though the thing is, you probably could. The biggest question is, like, now you would only have to go as far as Lathrop, right? And then into San Jose. So you don't have to do the long way around. You can go a more direct way into Silicon Valley. And you also would have a more accessible way to like San Francisco, as well as Oakland and San Jose. But the other thing I actually feel I'm going to add is I'm going to try to find a BART map, because I might have to get I have to find this one online. Let's see if pictures. Okay. So what is this one about? Okay, BART district. Okay, this is, I think, old. When was this made? It might have been made before the new one. No, it was made 22, so 10D maybe? Okay, E. Here you go, actually, the BART stations. One might be a good one, or the BART line. No? Is the Google not broken? No, okay. Well, these are all in the Bay. Doesn't include BART, no, it doesn't. District. No. So buffer. It's true, because my buffer layers might be a good factor. The other big question is because they're building the one at the Santa Clara station. So if they could do BART, or even just do the light rail to Milpitas, is the other big one. But let's see if I can find it on I'm gonna find it online. BART train ArcGIS. Because the other thing too about access is, let's see, it's a zip file. These things are annoying. The big thing you want to see is if you put a line down, you might be able to, because the big thing, which is seeing the start of the Santa Clara BART, which is where it meets. See, these are the two, right? So the thing currently is that's going to be built in the next 10 years. But with the current system, you can cut across to the BART from the light rail. So would that give more access, depending on how fast the service is, if you can do a quick jump? That's the big debate. Because I know the Fremont BART, unfortunately, is too far away from it. It's like an hour walk. So because you wonder who. It's very questionable if it could get a second life connecting the VTA light rail. That's my question for the minute. Because I'll be intrigued going forward if they can make that reality. Because the thing that I feel is, like, just pull this out on a Google map for the minute. Let's just go to a Google map really quickly. And we'll put the layer of transit on, right? So, transit, okay. So currently, we have this section, right? Which they said would go down here to Madera, right? So so this Bakersfield to Merced, right? That's the current. Well, Bakersfield Madera is the piece that they only want to build. But if you could, depending on how long it would take to go from Madera to Merced on the San Joaquin, where they would meet the ACE, and you would go up on the ACE to the valley. So for the minute, you could start with this. Could it bridge that gap for a train that could now cover, right? Because according to the top speed of the California high-speed rail in the middle of the valley, which would make sense if it's straight, California high-speed rail, top speed, okay. 220 miles an hour, right? Distance between Bakersfield and Merced. 160. It currently, according to Google Maps here, would say it would take you 2.5 hours. And the idea was, they said the speed would be 220. So it would take you less than an hour, about 30 minutes, just over 30 minutes to bridge that gap. So anybody could cover that distance in about 30 minutes. And according to the ACE timetable, right, ACE train timetable, so this one goes 410 to 620. So it'd be 30 minutes currently, right? So according, let's get this kind of comparison schedules. Schedule. So, see, this is a good map actually. So there is a Thoroughway bus route, which I'm glad that exists, but I think the problem about the 152, about all three main routes in and out of the valley, the 152, the 580 and the 205, and the Forest are all very busy. Like if you did a race from Fresno to San Jose and you raced a car versus a train, and you had to, the rule was you had to do was that you had to go across like rush hour. I feel like the train might win. There'd probably be a chance, depending on what they took. So the bus is kind of in the on all those on a bus. I think you're kind of stuck there. It's not like there's a special lane, which maybe could be a solution. As a guy who's doing a bus route thesis on El Camino, you wonder if it could have a real life example going over something like the valley. I mean, because the valley is always backed up. I mean, I actually kind of curious, but someday, but so probably wouldn't be. But you wonder those few days of like, if you put a bus lane on each of it, would it encourage the buses? Actually, the good question. Over the three routes in and out of the valley, if you encouraged a bus only route like that you had to take transit, would it help reduce that? Because you can fit 40 people in there, and if they have a dedicated lane blocked off to themselves, like in the center, maybe that changes depending on time. Going through the valley, you just get to cross it at the average time the map suggests, not 4 extra hours. Because they say it's currently, 3 hours to do Central Valley to Silicon Valley right now at peak hours. The high-speed rail was going to cut it to, 3. Anyways, as I'm going to peek through the schedule. Okay, so from Bakersfield to Modesto, it takes 4 hours, right? So you're already 4 hours to, you're already 4 hours there. 9 to get to Sacramento, and then 6. It'll take you, it takes you about 6, just under 7 to do the whole loop. Now, if you went to Stockton at the right time, currently, right, you would be able to do it in 4. So you'd be able to reach it in 4. Then it would take you another, take you 2. It would take you just under 2. So it'd take you 6. It'd take in the same time. Actually, but you'd be like an hour faster, funny enough, because it's 2:10, but this is more like almost 7. So this is just over 6 to get back. I mean, obviously it's battery heavy. You'd see why people wouldn't do it, except maybe not from Bakersfield, but now the big thing I feel is obviously it's not plausible to do the Bakersfield stretch, but for someone, people do like Fresno sometimes, 6. So you could do Fresno in 2 hours, and then it would take you another 4 to get to the valley. Versus, so an hour more, unfortunately, so it's not as fast than the average like traffic. I guess the difference is it's guaranteed because like traffic here could, we could be held up for hours. So not guaranteed. Like obviously the train is usually guaranteed with its schedule. It's only sometimes delays from time to time. That is the big question because that's the big thing. So if Merced actually was the thing I wanted to see because Merced is 7:23 and you'd get to Stockton. So it's Madera to Merced, and you would have to ride this train for 40 minutes. So it'd be a 40-minute gap. So it'd be 30 minutes and then 40. So you'd be 70 minutes to get that stretch before you have the final main. So as a rough guesstimate, it probably would be a little longer because it depends on the distance. I'm just going to see how long it is between Merced. Let's see. So distance between extension. So let's check this. What is this one? Okay, the distance between Merced and San Jose. 119 miles, and the current option takes 2.8 without any traffic. So And so it's about the same time. It'd be interesting to see if people would take it. It's about the same time, but also you have to factor in that's guaranteed. That's like, so when this stretch is built to Merced, it'll be interesting because it's almost like a fork on this map. So when this is bridged, you like one direct. It's like you're on it. It'd probably be like, because obviously you'd have to think from here. So 4:30 to 6:20. So just under 2 hours is that stretch. And then let's see, Merced to, so yeah, you would have, so 70 minutes and then just about 100, so about 170. So still 3 hours to do that stretch. And then you would add the three that you could do that whole stretch in 30 minutes. It's just interesting because it probably wouldn't be that feasible. I mean, obviously, I guess the difference about these trains is it's like it's travel time's guaranteed. You're not going to be waiting for 3 hours extra if traffic or an accident happens. Well, issues can happen, but delays are not like the same level of common. You know, pileups and slowdowns are just kind of a little more. It's a roll the dice every day on a road. So if you're on the train, you spend that set hours to get in and out. So it would be interesting to see if they bridge it, would it be profitable? That's the question. Would commuters start using that stretch and they could, in 30 minutes, they could jump to a train that could get them there. And then either the ACE will be bridged down one to Madeira, or they'll complete the stretch to Merced. Because obviously, the bigger agreement and why this is all here is that in 2019, when Governor Gavin Newsom took over the state, one of his big first presses he said was he wasn't going to fund the entire high-speed rail project anymore, but he agreed to fill in the last 180, which is what is being viewed here on the map. So he's like not funding the whole thing on this map, but he's going to finish this because construction already started, and it was like, you need to complete it, and it's a lot of people's livelihood, employees, hundreds of thousands, not 100,000, but it's like tens of thousands of people are working on it. So it's probably one of those pieces you have to think eighth largest economy. But it's only a 118-mile stretch, right? Which are being nicknamed as the train to nowhere, right? Yeah, so Madeira to Merced, the remaining 52. So it looks like they bridge it, but that's the biggest question. Would it be enough? Would people get on it to take that few train trek if the ACE is successful in conjunction? And could either the ACE or the high-speed rail even bridge that gap where you could do it faster than the San Joaquin? But the idea that you could get there in a quicker succession than before, because currently you need like 6 hours to go from Bakersfield to the East Bay, and then you have to do 8 to get to San Jose. So you have to do a long way around. But then there is a current commuter train at certain hours. But now, if you could do that stretch in the morning, now you could guarantee do it in 2 hours, which it depends on how. So according to the map, it takes 2:08, and they tell you to go down. So if you could do that in the same amount of time, guaranteeing you would never have to worry about traffic, would it be bridgeable? And I guess as they phase in the high-speed rail to San Jose, which is their goal to help bridge that gap, it'd be interesting to see if the train to nowhere's reputation is going to alter in the next coming years. I mean, obviously, it's expected to take a bit while, according to this Guardian article, right? It's still not till 2029, I think, but it's gonna be, yes. I mean, they're on their kind of final stretch, but it'll be interesting to see if this is enough. I am intrigued to see if they can finish that and then finish it on their own, because the governor's going to sell to a private contractor, to my knowledge. So if it's just interesting to see that with the ACE is going to bridge this gap, the unexpected thing, even ordering the hydrogen locomotives I've heard about to replace their fleet. Will it be profitable? Will it be enough that it could encourage more people to do that? Because in 30 minutes, they can bridge the gap. And as it extends, that's how it will phase in. Will that be its start? Will that be how this starts? The change in getting from point A to B will be altered forever. That is my biggest question, and I want to leave it down to the people in the comment sections below. But that's where I ask, as I am discussing something like this. Because it's currently a small one that's not very wanted, but you wonder with its expansion, will it change? Because the connections have been interesting. So if they bridge the gap, there's more news about it. By 2026, right? And obviously, okay. So I'm going to look to see if there's anything. The current estimate is 2028. So it says, okay, a news article from 2 months ago. There's pardon me, I thought I wasn't by this mic muted for a sec. Okay, so I'm just gonna look. It's delayed, obviously, but I think they concluded by the Olympics. It's interesting. So, oh, so this is the Brightline one from LA to Vegas, which would be interesting. Because you wonder if they'll capitalize on that. I guess tourism, if it brings in tourists, it might be good. Because it'd be a good new alternative, I feel. Because it'd be interesting, because a lot of the Vegas tourists kind of just want to go into something air cooled. They don't want to be, not as many people like to do the trek across the desert in cars. So, sold on that with airports to just land and move from AC to AC. I think that's just the same deal with the train. You could sell that too. So I'm intrigued to see what will happen. Okay, so phase one. Environmental clearance, because this was the thing that happened recently. But I'll be intrigued to see if there's anything else about them fixing it. The last environmental piece, as I mentioned before, and that kind of solar power would be interesting. True. The Caltrain electrification is already there. I was wondering if they will change the grade separation if they'll change that as well, but this is the whole stretch that's being built in. 2030 and 2033 is what this article says. This stretch is set to be made. So the SoCal projects in kind of phases as well, and their bridge to the Brightline West. Interesting. So it's still going to be a fair couple of years before all of this is made reality, but so I guess I'm going to sketch this really quickly, right? So okay, so the schedule says, so Baker's, so obviously, so Bakersfield to Merced, right? Want to get that stretch that in first. Okay. Kind of, there's two. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna put these two kind of next to each other. Is there a way you can give these lines descriptions? Comment down below if I can. I don't think I can. Just put a pin on it or something. Okay, there you go. Put a pin on this one. Okay. No, I don't need two. I just need one. Okay. Just doing a cool little pins, animals, humans, arrows, buildings, maybe. The landscape might be interesting. Oh, actually, perfect. So I'm trying to train in this. Okay, so let's find that train. I'd answer that text really quickly, but trains. I think they'd have trains. Here we go, vehicles. I must have missed that before. Okay, so we want find that old authentic diesel here. I'm gonna make this guy. I kind of saw bullet train look. This guy looks better. This actually says train stop, commuter train, aerial train, bi-level, yeah. Cable car, train on track. Okay. Save that. There's a way we can add a description. No one who can write it. I feel like, what did I do last time? Usually you click on these things, it can make a good question. Actually, funny. It'll work. Let's shoot bicycle around. Nice. Oh. It's funny because actually that would be very fitting for this entire layer if you made it a under construction railroad. It actually works better because it is under construction. So that'll actually be a pretty good idea. Part of me feels still good to keep these. Actually, I'm going to say we'll keep one actually on each end. We'll put one here and then one there because at least people will know. So let's duplicate it. Duplicate. Okay. I'm trying to figure out if there's must be a way for me to do this. I'll find it really. I'm gonna go to Google for this one. How, no, no. How to add text to points on ArcGIS. No, I've done it before, the other one, so. Okay, click on the widget. I usually want a video, okay. Yes, this is gonna be very, as they say. Oh, it's add the features. Right. Thank you. But I gotta do it in the classic one, so let's save it and I'll do the map viewer classic. That's what I had to do. So I'm gonna move it over and see if that fixes it. Hopefully everything survived. Yeah, well, maybe a little more bland. But as long as it just stays as is, it's the big question. Okay, that's what's important. If it stays as is, it's a good question because, yeah, which one of these work? Part stations, quadrant stations. Okay. Here's the edit option analysis. As I just said, details and okay, the edit's not there. If anyone knows in the comments down below, please tell me, because I am unfortunately a little stuck here. Though it doesn't say much about you, but someone here. But if anyone sees this in the future, maybe you should comment down below about how I'm supposed to fix this one. But oh, that's very cool. It's a little drive time thing. Actually, I know exactly what I want. Can you pin that? Driving time? Depart at 6 in the morning on a Monday. Tomorrow, 22. Good directions, let's see. So, we want to make, so Bakersfield, California to San Jose. Let's see what these guys say. This is a cool little feature. What happens when you kick around? It's funny, they had like an A to B direction like Google Maps on GIS. Mind blown, I'll tell you. GIS is just one of those tools you got to keep messing around with. You got to toy with a lot if you want to know how it works. So, you know. So, actually, it's a good question. Is there a better base map actually that might work better in this? That might be better. Navigation maybe might actually work better. Weirdly, no transit. It's nothing, which is kind of sad. But I guess this navigation one might work better for the time, but check the video again. It's gonna be interesting to see if that'll work here on this. Because the line art station. I think this thing is just not working, but yeah. I think someone must have deleted it or something. But you wonder if these are busted. You'd wonder if my thing would work. The buffer. The other one I want to check. ArcGIS walking distance. Oh wait, it's the direction thing. Okay. So measure. I'm trying to think about this, but anyways, I'm gonna go back to the other one, and I will have to figure out this thing later. But I'm going to just do text for the minute, just to while I figure out the issue, because I think this is just my generalized opinion about GIS, which the professor, the head of the former head of the geog department school taught us in Saturday. You know, just because it's broken one day does not mean it's broken permanently. Let's just GIS in a nutshell. It somehow will can sometimes magic figure. I'd be here for 5 more hours trying to figure out this text thing, and I will get nowhere. But if I leave it as is, I can probably go tomorrow and fix it in 20. So I think I will go with that. You know, yeah. Is it called a block or a reading block or kind of writer's block or something? Kind of you're stuck. You can't think like. So I'm just gonna add this here. and here. So I'm just gonna add these. Okay, so 30 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna say, so from this right here, I'm just gonna do the calculation. Where is it? No, okay. So this section, so from Bakersfield to Merced, right? Because we want, no, no one. Okay, we want Bakersfield to Merced, right? So Bakersfield to Merced, we'll take it. So it'll take 4 hours, right? Just under 4 hours. So it'll be, so it's 412, so it'll be 3 hours 51 minutes currently. So I'll just say train 3 hours 51 minutes currently. Okay. I'll make an arrow really quickly to point it to this one so they know. I just need to sketch an arrow really quickly. No, wrong one. We want that one, but we want an arrow instead. So arrow. I thought all the arrows one direction. Okay, good. It's like I don't. It's okay, that's that one. So, I'll ask around nice class about this. Train, if completed, will take 33 minutes to travel the same distance. Okay. And this is why this is not clean. It'll take 33 minutes to travel the same distance. Right, I'm just gonna put that here. One. Almost out of power, so let me just quickly put this arrow and save this fella, and then I shall go rush to this. To bridge the gap for the now is that it's going to is kind of the current status of this stretch. But let I quickly run for a plug. I'm going to turn the mic off for 5 minutes. Actually, one thing is I need to shrink this down because actually not Merced, it's Madeira. Anyways, so I want to shrink this down to Madeira. Sorry, I shrink just enough to get to Madeira. And let's just be sure. Let's move the arrow a little bit up. Okay, let's see. Okay. Now the big thing is that this stretch is what I'm going to add on next, which is duplicate one of these. And so this stretch, I'm going to put a bar between the two. And put a little line. So I'm going to put a line from here to here. Just kind of only, I'm going to do that actually really quickly. I'm going to do that. Kind of as a line. Oh, I shouldn't delete that one. That was drawn. Okay, so want it there. And then I'm going to stretch it out. So we're going to be boxed in on this. Okay, so basically, I'm going to shrink this back. So let's move that into there. Yep. Into there, right? Let's see, hopefully it didn't align. Okay. So we have the 2 here, which is now that, and I'm going to box it in on this. So put another line right here. Okay, so now the only option is that, and I'm going to point this out. Okay, so we have this stretch, and now I'm just going to add the text again and be like, look at the new little section. Okay. So it'll take 20 minutes, is it? 43, 45. It'll take you 45 minutes to bridge this gap currently, which is probably not very promising. Just say 45 minutes now and post completion. Right? Okay, so now I'm going to move that down, post completion, 45 minutes. Just kind of wanted to do that, and then I'm just going to move that up, a line, and an arrow. That's a clear a So it's just the goal is to what do we want to use 5? And so that's the thing. It's going to be that stretch. It's going to always be 45 for the minute. Now, so now the big thing is to do the next stretch. So the thing currently is that the ace will be extended. So I'm going to draw a quick additional line, put another with the under construction layer actually be perfect for this. And so obviously the station they said is like North Lathrop, so kind of don't know where they'd be proposing it. North Lathrop. I'm trying to I'll quickly find that on the map really quickly. North Lathrop. I don't know if they're really going to put it, but Lathrop is just kind of... So I feel like they're going to put it somewhere here. So I'll put it between the two. I don't know if it's just like so I'll put it there, and we'll just connect it to the line to say they're going to build this, and we'll put like a pin to be like, well, we're going to the next like section, which is going to be that. And so the idea will be, well, since there is kind of no connection, right? So according to this, right, let's look at this thing. So Modesto, so we got Merced, Trimlock, Modestos, and then Stockton, right? So there's no Tracy stop because according to this, it's going to be skipping that. It's going to be going, yeah, it goes from the far side. So east, it's like following the 99. It doesn't go across. Let's say that side of 99 all the way to Stockton. So that's the problem. Put there. It's angled. I hope people have been able to read this whole time. Tell me about the quality when I'm going through it. Okay, so the next piece to kind of sketch is that I'm going to have a section from here to there. So I'm going to bridge it from here. I'm just going to draw a line. I'm just going to draw. They said they're extending it, so currently I'm just going to do its own line parallel to the San Joaquin, because the idea will be I'm just going to move up. Just got to move it in to get to. I'm just going to do a kind of a straight line. Won't, you know, we're not going to be all like where exactly it's going to be, but basically we're just going to put this in, and I'm going to put in, drop it in where it looks like north is going to be. An airport or just like a warehouse, army depot. So I guess it kind of sounds like we could put it from there. So I'm gonna bridge it in on that really quickly just to fit it in, and then it'll just meet there, and then I'm gonna sketch it back down. So that's the end of that, and then I'm gonna move it down kind of like across to bridge in the gap to Merced. Okay, so we're here at Merced, right? I'm gonna change that to be like an under construction thing, because that'll fit that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to find. I'm gonna have to buy mode actually more fitting, I think, for the ace, because it is a construction. Actually, more fitting, and so there's plans to put a stop in. So according to this article, let's see. So Merced, Lingswater, Avalon, Turlock, Ceres. Interesting. There's kind of two sections though. Ripon, then Tekka, and then it's Northland Rock, and that's where you come back down. So there's more stops, which is interesting. But the difference is you don't have to go as far, and it's more direct. And this would be something interesting to time, because what's the okay, since I've used Central Valley, it's a bit, so I actually want to check is the schedule. So from Merced to Stockton, it would take 47.3. So take an hour 20, so 80 minutes, right? And that's what's the top speed of the Amtrak San Joaquin? Top speed is 79. It's about 80 miles an hour, which makes sense. So, and I guess for they're equal pace, so it's interesting. Because you do wonder, because and the big thing is, well, that's the other big thing. So to go from Merced 7:20 to Tampa take 3 hours, and then so if you want the same thing, right? So just we'll humor the same thing right now, of like, I guess let's take off 10 minutes because that would be a rule. So you'd be 19 minutes off that. So currently it would take you. So to my calculation correct, it would be you. So 7:23. It would take you 2 hours 22 to do that section, but you would do this section in hour 20. We take it off hour 17, so you just be under just an hour, so about 58, and then it's an additional 4:30. So it's additional 4:30. So it's additional. So you're 58 minutes, and then you have to get. Then you need about 2 hours to get back to the valley. Yeah, so 4:29. It's just under 2, so it's about under 3 versus that stretch would take you, 3.5. Anyways, so it would take you 3.5 hours to do that stretch, which is an interesting little piece of. Anyways, sorry, I was answering that. I didn't answer your text message. Anyways, so it would take you 3.5 hours to do that. Okay, so 3.5, and the idea that you would do that in about 3. Also, you do less than 3 to do that, because this stretch, funny enough, too, is like you could access the BART as well. So interesting, because that would bring you just to Oakland, and then you need, well, for Richmond, you need another 20 minutes. Let's see. BART. I'm gonna check the BART timetable actually. I'm actually kind of curious how long it takes to do. So let's just see. Richmond. Well, North Richmond. Oh, no, it's just called Richmond. I'm thinking of a different one. No, I think of North, like Berkeley, maybe is what I was thinking. Okay, and which one? Let's just do Monday night. Like 6 in the morning. Let's see a good schedule. So it's it take you 7:54, right? I'm trying to get like an interactive one every day. Cartoon Rail maybe is interesting. It's pretty good. It's got the San Joaquin and it has the Capital Corridor. This one's pretty good. And then for some reason they never put one there. You feel like it would have been a big win, but I guess they were trying to appeal to Silicon Valley, so it's kind of interesting. But they're gonna be meaning the future BART that's underway in Santa Clara, which I've seen it. If you guys watched my previous video, you would have seen. So anyways, good question. I'm just trying to find a thing that'll tell you how long it takes to do for a BART trip planner. Okay, here we go. That's what I want. Okay, I want to start it. Exactly what I want. I want to take Richmond, and then San Francisco. Embarcadero. I'm thinking. Sorry, it's about San Francisco. Embarcadero. So I'm going to search. Okay, and so you would need. Let me say orange, and then. So you would need 35 minutes. Okay. You need an extra 35 to do the BART in, but I'm curious because if you did that to Berryessa now, because I'm kind of curious about. Let's see, hour and a half. So you need an extra hour and a half once you're over to get to the valley. So it is interesting. So, anyways, part of me wants to come back to that for the minute, but okay. So I'm gonna add in a point. Note. So let me actually make this guy. I see if there's other ones. There are train ones like that would work. Beagles. Actually, you know, funny, commuter train would actually work better. And this guy can still be the this guy can still be the bi-level one. Okay. Use him. It should work. I'll turn it off, but that sometimes comes with just looking at a map. You get very lost in it in a good way, so I'm not too mad. I have the BART stations here now, so is this any look any better? Okay. I guess we already have the lines. But I'm trying to see if I can find the VGA light rail ones. Because the other thing that's big about this is now. So currently this would take 45 minutes. Then. So. There's kind of. So. That's the. Oops. Sorry about that. Nothing's happened. Anyways, okay. Currently, this is the biggest stretch now. So. Currently, as I'm going to sketch. Once you get to Stockton, there's obviously the two choices. if it's like 5 in the morning, right? Because the last ace is like 8. So at just under 8 in the morning, you get the two choices, right? So at 7:30, you'd have two options. Take the so you would be taking 8:40, and you would end up at Oakland by just before 10:30. So in it would take you an hour 48, right? So let's quickly sketch that in. So if you went this way, on the far side, that stretch gets you to the East Bay. I'm to be sure it's not. on top of it. These things can get really scrunched. Okay. Put it down the scale. I'm so glad I'm not drawing on paper. Okay, so this stretch, which I'm gonna change into a track. Make a train track out of it. Okay, so we want railroad, ferry, multi-gauge, aqueduct, railroad and street, B10. Let's just do this guy. He works, I think, better. And then because we're just more trying to show the distance right now. But just for the minute, I'm going to ask the GIS community afterwards how long it takes. So I'm only just going to do to like Fremont. So let's see, stops Tracy, Dusker Road, Livermore. Because more about getting over the pass, Pleasanton. So that's actually a good question because also that's a good question. How long does it take you to Antioch? So Stockton to Antioch takes just under 30 minutes. And then it's another hour 40 to get across to just even to Oakland. So, and you would need, you have to take extra. That's if there's no traffic. So, we do Richmond. Do it from Richmond, it would take you an hour 15. So, that's the big question right now. Okay, so hour 15 for that stretch. And what can you do in an hour 15 on this? Obviously, it's interesting. The big problem with this kind of currently, actually, is that so they both go through Stockton, but the ACE and the Amtrak station are very far distances. Like you can't walk it. You need to take an Uber or a bus. So it's not very convenient. It's not like you just switch over. They're not in the same space. So that's the other big bridge. But it is a good question because that also might discourage because obviously times are on early. So not always there. So if you're looking for a more direct route to the bay, you would probably take the long way around because at least you would remove the walk. But the big question right now is if you're in Stockton both and you pick. So we'll pick a neutral site. Let's just put Stockton ACE to Amtrak. I'm just going to quickly check that on the map. Stockton ACE to Amtrak, right? I'm just going to put Stockton Amtrak. Put it on the map real quickly. So there we go. I'll put the layer on in front of you really quickly. So we'll use the other guy. So it's a 26-minute walk, a 10-minute bus ride. Oh, actually, yeah. They have a connecting service, but it's not the most convenient idea. Maybe someone's with their bike and it seems like they can do it in 7. So, it's a mild difference, but okay. So you put it as a neutral thing that's there. The person obviously needs like at least an hour. So I am getting sidetracked, but that's map looking in my book is fine. It's good to get distracted on where everything is because you need to look at everything. Anyways, so it'll take you just under 2 hours, right? So it would be an hour 48 if you went to Oakland. It would be an hour 15 if you went to Richmond, and that's just to the BART. Now, in that same distance, so for an hour 15, you could get Pasco Road, Livermore. That's 5, 10 more. Pleasanton. So you could get to Pleasanton in that same time it would take the person to get to the BART. And now, how much you would need? Where's this? Okay, so an hour 15 to get to the BART, and then so you would need 9:55, and then 33. So it'd be an extra 33 minutes to get to Oakland. So 33 minutes more, you could get to 58, 58, 908, 918. So you'd be between Fremont and Santa Clara. So you'd be just shy of Santa Clara in the time it would take for someone to get to Oakland. So about the same is interesting. So that would be the better option. Interestingly, for the obviously the open, but obviously doesn't go. Your ace doesn't go to there, but it's interesting that that's how far they'd get. Now let's see again. So Richmond to Embarcadero. Let's just see how we get to SF. You would need, let's see. You would need an additional 35, and you'd be here. So you'd be at least here. You'd be about shy. So you'd be about you would get to San Jose around the same time and take that person on the BART to get into just in San Francisco. Which is interesting. Obviously, it would be the more direct route if you're going to SF or Oakland. I mean, this thing was built for the Valley, but it's interesting because they said they're bridging the gap. But it is interesting too because now the BART is there as well, and the BART is present in Santa Clara. But it's a good question how long it takes to go from Milpitas to VT light rail schedule. We want this guy, and we want so. You would get. There's 17 minutes to get to the part. I mean, there is no perfectly direct way right now, but it is interesting going forward, especially with that and the BART in the next 10 years. So it is a good question where it's all going. But part of me is going to resketch the rest of his map. So let's just yes, once again I'm going to find that thing, but let me find my P12. This guy he likes. Okay. Save that. See if anyone commented because I can't really always see the screen because oh, someone's saying hi. Cool. I mean, I have been told about 5 people visited, so interesting. But the big thing I'm trying to figure out is the stretch that you can do because okay. The other big question, so I'm going to measure this stretch because so I'm going to put arrows to each one. So I'm going to pin them all down. So 1 and as well as 2. Let's get those 2 first. So I'm going to make an arrow in a sec. So basic line. Actually, get this guy. So he's going to be that. I wonder if we can actually find if there's symbols about if they're numbers. Pins, maybe. Shapes. Just kind of curious. I know the thing works, so animals, arrows, buildings, landscapes, vehicles. Do symbol maybe? No, okay. I'll put one there, and then we just have this guy also becomes one. But we're just gonna have an arrow pointing out to each. I guess in this case, since the people, I guess, in a way, drug rule where you gotta do them all, so. Okay, so I'm gonna say same thing right here. let's get this thing. So Stockton, 8:42. So it's hour 15 to Richmond. BART. Okay, so go to text box. 1 hour 15 minutes to Richmond BART. And get the count it would take to get as far as to Oakland. It would take an hour 48 to Oakland. We gotta zoom in and put a BART symbol on it because we need to point out it's going to take that stretch. So we should save that. So let me fix this in a sec. Okay, so it's 1 hour 48 minutes to Oakland. Good question. I feel like I should probably move that over. So I'm going to move that here. Move that out. Oops. Is that going to be? See what it looks like. And then I'm going to quickly add in a thing because Embarcadero BART's this one. What's that one again? I gotta figure out the thing to get rid of all the others. I want to remove. Let's turn it off really quickly. So it's this one. No. This one. This one. The other one. See? Because all these other things, yeah. The BART station one probably will work better on this. Not as distracting, I feel, because you only really want the points. So let's make an arrow. That's gonna die. I'll move him out. So which direction do we go? Put it down here. No, wrong way. That's fine. Unless we want to get the BART time too. So it'll take 35 minutes to take the BART from Richmond to San Francisco. 35 minutes and BART ride from Richmond to San Francisco. Which the BART, for people who don't know what it is, by the way, is the Bay Area Rapid Transit. It's short for that. Yes, and it definitely is the same writing to the guy on the Lee Simpsons character, but it is not related. Just thought a bit of a piece right there for us. It's good, you know, you have to talk like no one's ever been here, so probably don't know about the rail line. Okay. So we have that. We have the sketch about how long this is supposed to take. I gotta get this stretch now. Oh right, and I'm gonna try to remove. I want to take off everything but Embarcadero. I don't want heat map single. No, that's not what I want. I want to get off all of filter. That's what I want. Filter. Add new. Location is. So I want. Station is includes maybe. Select one. I want to include just that one and that one alone, and all the others. It's like 240. Location, code, address, zip code, transit maybe. I'm trying to think which one would work. Objective 1 maybe includes is 240, 240, right? Station. Here we go, gotcha. And we want Embarcadero. We only want, because we don't need all those others. The others kind of don't. We want Embarcadero and we want Richmond actually. We want those two. That's the only ones we want actually. Because where is it? Fremont. There we go. We want that one, and then we want station and then location. So station is Embarcadero and station is Richmond. It's the only two we want because the start and end. It doesn't really matter. We already had the thing to calculate that. So Richmond. Half Richmond? It's weird. West Oakland, San Bruno, Powell Street, Orinda, North Berkeley, Montgomery, McNair. Where's? Oh, that's weird. And Osceola del Norte. That's weird. Richmond? Weird. Shoot. Easy. That's weird. The one thing that's missing. What's it called then? That's weird. This doesn't include it. That's weird. It's not on the map. Hang on. Just delete that one. So let's just filter that for a minute. That is weird. Why does it? So I'm just gonna add a pin for that. That is a weird question. I'm just gonna put that there, and then I'm gonna get like just a point kind of. Station. That is weird. Why is it not there? That's kind of weird. That's on that one, but that's really weird. The pressure isn't like the first time camera, huh? Alright, jump into that one. I'm gonna stencil on that one. Anyways, I'm just gonna add this, just gonna give it a new symbol. But just put this guy. Chain stop. That's fitting. I don't know. Okay, so I guess let's stand still for the minute. I think part of me needs to figure out how to make this cleaner, so he's going to go out and ask around the GIS community. But for the minute, he sees progress in this, what, hour, 40 minutes, hour and a half minute of work, so he's going to leave that, leave it saved as is. Very important to save very often, but he's going to go for that. So, yes, thank you all for watching. I feel like I got a fair couple people who stopped by, so I appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, and very much help get this video up to 200 likes. So I will leave that as is, and we'll maybe do an update, knowing this seemed to be very popular. Well, actually, one person present, I might stay on it for a minute, but I appreciate you coming by. Good 10 of you, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. So I might have another quick think about it for a minute. If there's something else I want to change, because the only I want to put this in. What am I thinking? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me put. So the ace one is. It'll take you. It'll take off 19 minutes. We'll subtract 19 minutes because you're not going to go as far. So we'll just go from this 7:51 to. So it'll take you an hour 53 to do that same stretch. Hour 53, Lathrop to 1 hour 53 minutes. Two cents. So let's enter down. This looks good. Now let's put a pin on this. It goes there, and then use commuter rail. That looks good. I want to figure that out. I think anything else, because apparently we have the bridge, we have the thought of before and after, and the idea of how it's going to be journeyed. Then we'll have, actually part of me wants to filter in to include, obviously I'm going to put this as the future Santa Clara, but part of me wants to put in, maybe filter in the other BART station, just to be clear, to see how far I can go. But for that time being, I think I'm going to leave it as is because I think I need to clear my head. Wondering why this piece is broken. So, but yeah, once again, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, and share. And help get this video up to 200 likes. Stay tuned for more of these because it's a good start, and I think I want to look more at it. I'm going to take a look how it looks in the other one and save it again. I wonder if it looks any cleaner. Because I can find the edit tool. So, yeah. I'll leave in that one. Just let me save first, and then move it over. Save. Save it often. And then, yeah, I'm going to go over for there and leave it as is for the time being. But thank you very much. I will see you all soon.